Hello guys and welcome to the JSA podcast. My name is Jonas.
I'm Abby.
I'm Sam, and in today's podcast we're going to be talking all things music and having a bit of a discussion about the latest news. So Abby, what's the first topic?
So our first topic is one from Independent, and it says, St. Vincent says that female artists are misinterpreted because people expect everything to be a diary. So what do you guys think of that? Do you think that females...
Yeah, I think a lot of women are sort of expected to be more emotional than men, and that like women are meant to have a certain style of music so that when they do a song that's slightly different or out there, it's not received as well. That being said, like you look at artists such as Cardi B and Iggy Azalea, they're completely against the mold. So I kind of get where she's coming from, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But I think, as she says in the article, music does not need to be like a diary, so not everything has to be true in it. And for example, when a male artist releases a song, you don't expect to be it like facts.
No.
And so you can also produce music that is like fictional.
Yeah. So for example, Vampire Weekend, a lot of their songs aren't experiences that they've had, but they're sort of stories that they've created themselves, and we don't expect them to be true stories. We know that, so why should it be different for women?
Yeah, exactly.
This also, I think, links on to the next piece of news from Little Mix. They've been having a bit of a reputation for dressing like
underdressing.
Underdressing, or like in a slightly provocative way. And recently they've received a lot of criticism for the way they're dressing.
Yeah, and I think it was last week at the Global Awards or something.
Yep.
They delivered a speech or something. And do you want to say it?
Yeah, they said, "We are women. We will dress how we want to dress."
Yeah. And I think that's kind of true because in the 21st century, you can dress.
I don't really think it matters what you wear, but I know that a lot of production companies will be like, "Oh, you need to wear a certain thing so you get more views."
But we talk about feminism, and the whole point about feminism is that women and men should have equal rights. So if a woman wants to dress in any way she wants, then why shouldn't she? Because a man would be allowed to do the same thing.
Yeah.
For example, when we're on a male artist concert and they take their shirts off or something, nobody complains about that.
No.
And
a guy would just go, "Oh my god, look how ripped he is! I'd love to be like that." And a woman would just go, "Oh my god, he's so sexy."
Yeah.
So I don't see what the difference. If we're talking about equality and sexism and feminism, then surely it should be the same for both. I think there's a bit of double standards.
Yeah.
No,
I
definitely.
think as long as you're happy with what you're wearing, you can wear whatever you want.
I think the problem arises though from this Time's Out movement that we've currently got. It's like for the whole, it's a great idea, I think, don't get me wrong, but it's causing a bit too much
It's a little bit over the top, I think.
Now so
also a lot of women are called sort of boring if they sort of cover up and wear like modest clothing.
Adele and Emily Sandé, just two artists to name a few.
But I think it's all about the talent and
what they want to wear,
what they want to do, what they want to wear, it's not
what message they want to like send across. And
vinyl versus CDs versus streaming. An independent article recently announced that vinyl sales are at their highest point since, I think it's the 80s.
1980s.
Yeah.
And I think they reached $1 billion or something.
Yeah.
$1 billion sales in the last year. Yeah.
Which is £820 million.
Yeah.
Which is quite surprising in this time where we've got Apple Music and we've got Spotify and we've got YouTube.
Yeah.
Endless platforms to listen to music.
Or you can just listen to a song, and whatever song you want to listen to in a split second. So
So why do we think that
sales have gone up?
Yeah.
I think it might be because because of the hipster movement, because people want to be cool and listen to vinyl music.
Definitely.
And
A lot of people think it looks aesthetic and
Yeah.
sort of cool. So
I think there's also like I don't collect vinyl, but I collect CDs,
Yeah.
and there's a really nice feeling you get when you buy or you get delivered a new
a
CD.
physical copy
Yeah,
of it.
physical
Yeah.
copy.
You take the cellophane wrapper off
Mhm.
and you open it up and you got the little booklet in there, because you don't get that online. You
Yeah.
don't get all
No.
these extra little bits. You don't just buy the music when you buy a CD.
yeah,
You buy so much more with it.
Yeah.
Like the artwork, you lose album art through streaming,
Mhm.
yeah,
um,
definitely.
and you've seen like a lot of recent albums have not been, the art on them hasn't been quite as good because of streaming, I think.
I think when you have a CD, you actually listen to the whole CD, to the whole album, whereas with Spotify or other streaming platforms, you just skip through the songs and you don't listen to it properly, I think.
Yeah.
So how do you guys listen to your music? Do you? I know you say CDs.
Yeah,
Sam says
well, I
CDs.
do have a Spotify account and I do
Yeah.
use it quite frequently, but I also like to listen to CDs, but I also like to
Yeah.
listen to the radio, because with radio you never really know what you get,
Yeah.
I think-
it's kind of like
and
a
sometimes you're
surprise.
surprised. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the radio is like a great way of finding new music as well.
yeah,
because,
definitely.
Like BBC's Radio 1, they have each DJ has their tune of the week.
Mhm.
And they
Yeah.
have a whole radio tune of the
Mhm.
week each
Yeah.
week as well. But also like they do some great covers as well. Like the
Mhm.
Live Lounge,
Yeah,
there's some amazing stuff on it. And yeah, so
yeah. I also
think-
quite like Radio X because their genre is quite the genre I like to listen to, but I don't know every artist they're playing, so it's quite sometimes surprising that which songs they're playing, and I sometimes find songs that I would listen to personally.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the time I listen to Kerrang, which is kind of like an alternate radio station
Mm.
and magazine and stuff. So I like to listen to them a lot.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I've never listened to that before, so I might
yeah,
need to give that a try.
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Our next topic is festivals, because the festival season is just about to start.
Yep.
And yeah, one of the most famous festivals in the UK is the Reading Festival. And yeah, this
Probably
year
the biggest this year as well, because there's no Glastonbury.
Yeah.
yes, yeah,
Definitely.
And so
The fans
Yeah.
this year have said that the lineup is appalling for Reading. So the lineup this year is Panic at the Disco, Kendrick Lamar, Fall Out Boy, Post Malone, and a load of others.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Which
last
I would be happy with.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think it was quite a good lineup.
Mm.
But I think considering there's no Glastonbury this year,
Mm.
and considering the lineup they had last year,
yeah, they had
But-
Kasabian, Eminem, Muse, Bastille, Major Lazer, and Liam Gallagher last year
Right,
as
so
but
headliners.
I think last year's was like particularly strong.
It
lineup.
was
Mm.
good lineup, but I think this year's lineup is not too bad. I would personally go
Yeah.
there because
Yeah.
I like the
no,
artists
I
there,
definitely would.
and I don't think their bands are too small. Like
No,
they're
they're
quite
all,
famous.
But there's also,
Everyone knows them, I
Yeah.
think.
there's also quite a few smaller bands that like people might not know so well, so it's a good chance to go
Yeah.
and
Find
some
new music.
Mm.
hmm
I also think like part of it is to do with the fact that there aren't as many major artists or the popular artists around at the moment. So
hmm
Mm.
I think that you're not likely to get a tour from them because there's no new album from these artists. Whereas last year there was quite a lot of the top build artists came out with new albums. So
Yeah, this year's been quite
quiet.
quiet.
So yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Mm.
back to the old sort of like rock, sort of rock and pop,
And indie's
indie,
quite
yeah.
big at the moment.
Yeah.
sort of like back in, I think it was 2012-13 when you had that Mumford & Sons, Bastille, Muse,
Mhm.
Kings of Leon, all of them came out.
Yeah.
So it's background to that, I think, but I'm not sure people enjoy that sort of music anymore,
Yeah.
especially with the development of grime and how the
Mm.
American hip hop scenes come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another famous festival is Bestival, which is in August, on the 5th of August, and their lineup includes London Grammar, Plan B, and Rudimental. And I think compared to Reading, this is, well, maybe it's a different style, a different genre, but I would personally prefer the Reading Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also you got to bear in mind that the festival's a lot smaller.
Yeah,
Mhm.
It's never
it's more like a family festival,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, definitely.
and that's still quite a strong lineup for them, I think. Like London Grammar, Georgia Smith are two of the biggest artists at the moment.
Mm.
So that for them to get that is really good. And that's another one people have been complaining about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking online and I saw quite a lot of articles that are saying that festivals don't have enough female performances.
yeah,
So it's like
yeah,
predominantly male.
yeah. I also read something online about
There's a currently movement
yeah,
which
for-
wants to achieve a 50-50 gender representation balance
Yeah.
by 2022, I think.
yeah.
And-
I think 45 festivals have signed up.
Yeah,
now.
including
Wow.
Brighton's Great Escape, Cheltenham Jazz, and Liverpool Sound City.
I
Think.
Wow.
I should think that some of the top festivals as well will get involved in that soon, especially with the
And-
way the world is at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
And,
From my personal experience, so I went to a festival last year in Germany, and I think the headliner was Billy Talent, and the only female artists that performed were only background singers, so it was only like a male, only male artists performed there, and which is quite, in the 21st century, it's quite poor
Yeah.
Oh.
that you don't really have female artists on festivals.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I went to Common People in Oxford last year, which is quite a small festival,
Hmm.
but they had the headliners. There was only one female headliner because they had Pete Tong. I want to say it was Sean Paul, but I can't remember.
Right.
Rag and Bone Man, and the only female headliner was Becky Hill,
right.
and she's not even one of the top billed
Mm.
headliners. She was probably the strongest of the weekend, but
Yeah.
she wasn't it wasn't how it should have been.
Mm.
I think.
Do you guys think that's from like a lack of female artists being big and sort of?
I don't think so, because they're quite. We
Yeah.
do have quite a
Yeah.
lot of female artists,
Yeah.
like
I-
Beyonce,
Yeah.
Halsey.
There's
I-
millions.
they're million.
I think though you look at who sets up most of these festivals, and most of them are set up by men.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of an issue. I think
Mm.
you need more women
Yeah.
setting up festivals and taking charge and organising. Our local festival here is Teddy Rocks in Blandford, and that is run by a girl.
Right.
So
Mm.
she chooses quite a good mix
Yeah.
of bands, I think. But yeah, I think definitely there needs to be more equality at the top of music festivals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for like the very, very big ones. So like
Mm.
Glastonbury, even though it's not happening this
Yeah.
year.
Because
Reading.
they can also be seen as role models, I
Mhm,
think. And
definitely.
yeah, if you have female artists, then people have something to look up.
Yeah. I think Glastonbury though is one that's always been quite fair. It's given every genre a chance. It's
Mhm.
given
Yeah.
every sort of it's given males and females a
Mhm.
chance. So I think that's probably the only one that we can sort of excuse
Yeah.
here.
And I think when I go to a festival like the mix of genres,
Mm-hmm.
I like to go to like festivals like Glastonbury where you have different artists from different genres, and then I would also like to listen to male artists, female artists. That's
Yeah.
quite good,
Yeah.
I think.
I think though it does depend on what is being released in that year. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you look at most of the festivals this year, they're quite indie, I'd
Mm.
say,
Mhm.
and a bit of hip hop or grime.
Yeah.
But I think that was quite last year, and the year before were quite heavy grime and hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess everything changes; it goes in cycles, doesn't
Yeah.
it? So. Also, finally, Rolling Stones have announced that they will be doing a UK tour this year for the first time in 12 years.
12
Yeah.
years is
Which
a
is
long time.
Quite impressive because they're like in their 70s
Yeah. Yeah.
Something.
it's-
and they've
Quite
been
old.
around for like 50 years,
Mm.
I think. So that's quite
Might
impressive.
encourage
Yeah.
like an older audience to sort of listen to music
Yeah.
like again.
Yeah, because some of their songs are just quality still
Mm.
so relevant.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I was going to say, so we'll move on from that.
Yeah.
Well, that marks the end of our
Yeah,
podcast
I
then.
think that's the end.
I think that's it.
All right.
Thank you
Thanks
for listening.
Yep,
guys.
and we'll see you next week
Okay.
for another random topic.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.